Alright kids, this is your first at-home lesson. This is supposed to be day 9, which is tomorrow's, objective, but you're doing the homework to prepare yourself for it. So I'm going to advise you to pause the video when I ask you to, and then write stuff down, and then press play to keep going after you do it. So right now, pause the video and write the title down in your notes and a objective. You don't have to worry about the standard here. But I do want you to pause the video, okay? Take a moment. Alright, here we go. Now that you're replaying the video, we're going to move on. So, radicals are another simple skill that we need to make sure we have down, because we're going to start working with more advanced skills in the next couple days here. These are the steps. We're going to pause the video right now, and you're going to write all of the steps down. Alright? You should have written the steps down. Now we're going to move on. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do a couple problems. You're just watching the video right now. You're not doing anything. You're not even writing this down. So, numbers 1 and 2. So, this is actually supposed to say, not right directions here, but simplify. Sorry about that. So, you'll see directions. They'll say simplify on these problems. So, on this example, we have the square root of 48 n cubed. I know that my index here is 2, so I want to figure out what two numbers would multiply to that. So I'm going to start with a factor tree, just like we learned in the other lesson. 48 becomes 16 times 3, right? And I want to be good at this in the sense that I want to make sure I know what my square roots are, cube roots and such. So I know 16 is the square root of 4. So an n cubed, I could look at it as like n squared times n, right? So I'm going to use these to numbers or factors to rewrite this. So 48 becomes 16 times 3, n cubed becomes n squared times n. And I know that I need to find the square root of things. So I know the square root of 16 is 4, so I'm going to cross that out and bring down the 4 and put it on the outside. I also know the square root of n squared is n, right? Then the other things like the 3 and the n, I can't do anything with, so I'm just going to bring that down on the inside. There's nothing else I could do to simplify it, so I'm just going to make it look nice. 4 times n is 4n, square root of 3n. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, it looks a little bit more difficult, right? We have this fourth root here, right? If you can see right here, fourth root. That means we need 4 of the same number to be multiplied, or what's the fourth root of a number? We got a big number like 324. Okay, don't worry about the big number. I always start with a factor tree. So I would start with 324 is equal to 18 times 18. And it has a perfect square. Or it's a perfect square, okay? But we need not 2 numbers, like here. We need to have 4 numbers. So we need to factor this some more. We got 9 times 2 and 9 times 2. I can't factor 2 anymore, so I'm going to circle those and keep going. I know 9 is 3 times 3, and those are prime factors, and so is the other 9. Okay, so I could really think of 324 as 3 to the 4th and 2 squared, right? The other letters are already, I could think of those, break those down in my head, right? So I can't really factor x or anymore. Y to the 4th is just y to the 4th, z is z to the 3rd. So I'm going to rewrite this right now so that it includes my new factors of 324, okay? And just like number 1, I'm looking at the index here. So it's a 4. So I'm going down my list. 3 to the 4th cancels out, right? Because I have 4 of the same number. I cross that out, bring that to the outside. Same with the y to the 4th, okay? So we got 3 times y is on the outside. And I don't want to forget my 5, because that was on the outside from the beginning. So I'm going to bring that down. Okay? The 2 squared we can't bring down because there's nothing I could do with it. There's not 4 of the same number. Same thing with z cubed. We don't have 4 of the same number or x to the 1st. So bring down the rest of the problem. We got 4. I'm sorry, it's supposed to say 3 to the 4th, not 4. Sorry about that. Okay, so it doesn't want it to say 4. We want it to say 3, right? Oh, I'm sorry, it was 4. Sorry, I'm doing this right now. We have a 2 squared, right? So 2 squared becomes 4. And we have times x to the 1st. times z to the third, right? Then we could simplify this some more. 5 times 3 times y is 15y. And then the fourth root of 4xz cubed. And that's your answer. Okay? So just like in class, usually we do talk to someone. If you're with your parent, you could explain it. But what I'd like you to do is pause the video. I want you to write these down in your notes. You need to have notes. I want to see your notes tomorrow. So we're not just watching the video. You're taking notes right now. So please pause the video. Alright, you should have the notes down, so I'm going to keep moving on. If you didn't have that title page down too, make sure that's out, because I'm giving you credit for your homework. Okay, next is number 3. Again, it's supposed to say simplify. Sorry about that. Simplify. Okay, so I would like you to try this on your own first. I'll start you off, so write down the problem, and then just a quick reminder, I know it's squared, right, or a square root, so I want to think, what's the square root of 128x cubed? So I do a factor tree on the side, so you should do this. I know 64 times 2, okay? I know that the square root of 64 is 8, so keep that in the back of my mind. Please finish the problem. Please pause the video. Okay, you should have paused the video. Now we're back, and you should be done with the problem, number 3. So this is what I would have done, is rewritten 128 times as 64 times 2, and then x cubed is just still x cubed. I'm looking for the square root, so the square root of 64 is 8. Bring that to the outside. We don't have a square root of 2, so we're going to leave that in there. Square root of 3, we could break that down. It's like a square root of x to the third. We know we could get x squared times x, so I'm left with x to the first. So I'm going to bring down an x on the outside. Square root of 2 times x to the first, which is 2x to the first. And rewrite this problem, so we have 8x times the square root of 2x. Okay, check your work. If you got it wrong, please figure out where you made a mistake on your notes. Okay, number 4, I'd like you to try this one on your own, so please pause the video here. All in your notes right now, try it out, and then you get to check your work with mine. Alright, so please pause the video. Alright, you should have paused the video, so now we're back on number 4. Okay, so what I would have done first is I would have done a factor tree. Okay, I know that 72 is like saying 36 square root of 2. I'm rewriting this with my new factors. Okay, and I know it's a square root because there's no number in that index, so we're looking for 2 of the same number. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of v squared is v. Don't forget that 2. Bring that down, right? Square root of 2 is left, right? Write it neatly. It's 12v square root of 2. Okay? If you've made a mistake, please pause the video here. Mark on your paper, I made a mistake here. I should have. That way you could remember it, okay? If you want to write the correct way, you can do that too. But don't erase your work. It's fine if you have mistakes in your notes. It's your notes. Okay? Continuing on, number 5, right? Oh, number 5. So number 5, you got a cube root, and you can see I'm already starting here with the factor tree. So I'm going to start you off. 24 is just like saying 2 times 12. I need 3 of the same number, so I'm going to try to break down 12. 12 is like 2 times 6. 2 is prime also there. And then 6 is like 2 times 3. So if I really think about it, 24 is like saying 2 cubed times 3, right? So I'm going to rewrite that there. And I'm not going to worry about that r to the 6th, right? I could look at it 2 ways. I could keep it the way it is, or I could write it as r to the 3rd times r to the 3rd, right? It's the same idea. So we're going to work this out. So please pause the video and write this down. I want you to finish the problem in your notes. Okay. You should have paused the video, and now you should be done. Now we're going to check your work. So we got, if we look at this, we have a cube root here, right? So we want 3 of the same number being multiplied. So we have 2 to the 3rd. That cancels out, so let's bring that 2 out. Then we have 3 to the 3rd. Or r to the 3rd, I'm sorry, cancels out. Bring that out. And again, r to the 3rd again, we're going to bring another one out. Don't forget about that 5, right? That's being multiplied with all that stuff on the outside. Then we got the cube root of 3. So I should have a cube root here. Continuing on, 5 times 2 times r is 10r squared. And then we got the cube root of 3. Right? Okay, check your work. If you made a mistake, circle it maybe with a pen or a highlighter. That way you're like, oh, I made a mistake here. I should have. Write that down, and if you want to write down the problem correctly, you can. Okay? Next one, okay, let's say you try to do this one on your own. I'm not going to start you off. I really think you could do it. Look at number 5 or number 2 if you like. Take a look at it, pause the video, and start working it out. Okay, you should have paused the video. So we have 6 times the quantity of the 6th root of 256 x to the 5th y to the 6th. So the first thing you should do is, of course, we're looking for 6 of the same number that are being multiplied. I know 256 is like 16 times 16. That's only 2 of the same number. 16 is also like saying 4 times 4, which is 4 of the same number. So let's break that down some more. Each of these 4 is like 2 times 2, right? And if I have 4 4s, that means I'm going to really have 2 to the 8th power. So 256 is really like saying 2 to the 8th power, okay? So I can rewrite that. The x to the 5th I can't break down, y to the 6th I can't break down. So I'm just going to rewrite this down here. I ran a little space. So I'm going to write it as 2 to the 8th and bring the rest of the problem down. And again, I'm looking for 6 of the same number. Oh, well, it's too fast. You see the video, you see the answer. But anyways, just so you see the process. 6 of the same number. We got 2 to the 8th there, right? So I cross out 8. There's 2 left. Bring out the 2 on the outside. Y to the 6th, bring out a y. Bring down that 6, 2. And then I know that I'm leaving 2 squared still on the inside and x to the 5th. Clean it up a little bit and you get 6 times 2y is 12y. 6th root of 4 times x to the 5th. And that's your answer. Okay? So check your work. If you made a mistake, please fix it. I'd like you to practice a little bit still for homework, so please pause the video here before moving on. But I'm going to check this tomorrow for homework. Okay, you only have 4 problems here. This is what we just learned. Please pause the video here. At the very end, I'm going to show you the answers, okay? So just the answers, just like you would on a homework assignment. Tomorrow we'll come back to this. You're going to be taking a little mini quiz at the beginning. It's not like official, but it is official enough where it affects what you do in my class tomorrow. So anyways, work these out completely in your notebook, then and pause the video while you work them out, and at the very end continue and finish the video. I'll show you the answers. Okay, you should have paused the video here. So here are the answers. Okay, so again, check your work. You know, if you made a mistake, try to figure out where you made a mistake. Try to figure it out. Sometimes you have to think things on your own. If you still can't figure it out, then come with your questions tomorrow, and then we'll work with you. Okay, that concludes our lesson. See you tomorrow.